I already know just by the title of this video that whatever I say is going to get flack. I love it. All right, let's get to it. So, to start off, we're going to look at the stats because that's what I do. Stats don't always tell the entire story of a career, but they do not lie. There are a few drivers I looked at to compare Elliott's stats. So, I looked at Elliott's first 5 seasons, and I also looked at the first 5 seasons for Jeff Gordon, Dale Jr., Matt Kenseth, Jimmy Johnson, Tony Stewart, and Kurt Busch. So far, Elliott has 11 wins, 59 top 5s, 96 top 10s, has led over 3,000 laps, and after the 2020 season, he is now a champion. Not too bad, to say the least. He's actually the best of the new generation of drivers. So when I look back at the 6 drivers I mentioned earlier, Elliott actually fits right in. He has more wins at this point than Matt Kenseth, more top 5s and top 10s than Kenseth, Dale Jr., and Kurt Busch, and has a better average finish than them as well. When you look at the most similar drivers to him, I'd actually say that he's more like Jimmy Johnson and Tony Stewart. I know, really good drivers to compare, but just hear me out. While many want me to compare him to Jeff Gordon, there's just no way that anyone compares to Jeff Gordon's early years. He just had out-of-this-world video game numbers those years. But in comparison to the drivers of Stewart and Johnson, his career is trending in the right direction. While not comparing in wins, he is in the same ballpark when it comes to most other important statistical categories. This has all been done in a time where he, as a young driver, has been the best running team almost every year at Hendrick Motorsports. Aside from Jimmy Johnson winning the 2016 title, he has outran every HMS driver by over a mile in the last 5 years. But that was impressive due to that. And the fact that from 2017 through 2019, Hendrick was basically a B-level team, it kind of shows just how good Elliott's been. Even with that, he has continued to improve as a driver. While it took him a long-ass time to win a race, once he did, the floodgates opened. 3 wins in the final 15 races of 2018, 3 wins in 2019 total, and 5 wins in his 2020 championship campaign. And it's not like 10 of these wins are lucky runs, fuel mileage wins, or plate wins. Looking closer at his wins, there's actually a good amount of diversity of the tracks and racing styles at tracks and races he's won. So he has 2 wins at 1.5 mile tracks, Kansas in 2018 with a 750 package and Charlotte in 2020 with a 550 package. He has won the previous 2 races at Watkins Glen in 2018 and 19. In 2018, he also had a win at the Monster Mile in Dover. There is a 2019 win at Talladega, so he does know how to draft relatively well. Now, I've listed these wins off, and I'm gonna leave the 6 others to look at a little bit closer, same with the All-Star win. So at the Roval, he has really shown a ton of talent. I mean, he's basically become the dominator of that track. Both of his wins there were completely unique in type. In 2019, he won after completely missing the first turn on a restart. Then he went through the field, came back, and won. While this past year at the Roval, he won in a race that had both rain and shine. Then, you look at earlier in the year. At Daytona, NASCAR raced the road course layout for the first time, and Elliott flat out dominated the race, leading 34 of the 65 laps. 2020 All-Star race this year, he beat Kyle Busch at his playground in Bristol. And then, you have to look at the last 2 races of 2020 at Martinsville and Phoenix. Both of these wins were at a time where he needed them, when a title was on the line, and at a short track and a 750 1-mile flat track. These wins just add to my personal assessment of just how good he is. The big moments don't seem to faze him anymore, the way that he did in 2016 and 17. He's matured as a driver. Oh, and did I mention that he'll only be 25 years old heading into the 2021 season? And I'd say a driver that's a really good comparison in the Gen 6 era to him at this time is Joey Logano. At the same age as Elliott is now, Logano only had 8 wins. The season that he was 24 was 2014. His first really big breakout season where he won multiple races. Since then, Logano has scored 18 wins in 6 years, which is 3 wins per year on average, and it fits with the trend that Elliott's career has gone down. And with Hendrick Motorsports seeming to be on the rebound, it may be even better for Elliott moving forward. Over the last 3 years, Elliott has become a staple of the elite group of drivers. He may not be as flashy as Kyle Busch or Kevin Harvick, or have the same stats as Martin Truex Jr. or Denny Hamlin, but there should be no question that he belongs with them. And like I said, he's only 24. He's younger than guys like Dale Jr., Tony Stewart, and Jimmy Johnson were when they were rookies. So I would bet money that he'll improve immensely over the next decade or so. But what the future holds does not answer the question of this video. How good is Chase Elliott? Well, I would say he's actually borderline a generational talent. If he can win 3 to 5 races a year with a Hendrick Motorsports team that is struggling, then imagine the numbers he can put up and the wins and the championships he can get with a Hendrick team firing on all cylinders. I mean, so far in his career, his floor has been 10th in the points and finishing in the top 10 every year. The last person to do that in their first 5 seasons was some guy by the name of Jimmy Johnson. Just something to think about. So now, after saying all this, I want to pass it to you. How good do you think Chase Elliott is? Let me know down in the comments below. And while you're at it, leave a like on this video and subscribe to my channel for more great NASCAR content. Until next time, have a good one.